This is a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.
And now, another episode of Dr. Jerry Jones, MD.
Dr. Jerry Jones, MD!
A highly advanced lethal dose of poison and a coma.
You must save the Prime Minister's life. He has to sign a treaty in 5 minutes or nuclear war is going to doom us all.
It's never been done before. It's never been tried before. Until today. Chicken implant. Here we go. Yeah. Stand by, boy. We're going in.
Jerry!
Oh, hey.
What the hell are you doing? You're making his back worse.
Just trying to help. Just trying to help. Can't go back in.
Sorry, kid. Dr. Jerry's orders.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do this. There you go. Oh, Dr. Jones, you saved the day again here. Hey, time for the fourth quarter. Oh, and the box score. Start right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Power College for box score.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. You guys dove right into the Adrian Peterson story today, and with his career hanging in the balance, Mike Florio said he didn't even think the NFL was going to make a decision on this, even by next Tuesday. McLovin, would you agree with all this?
Yeah, it seems like both Adrian Peterson and Ray Rice, like they should have decided by now. Peterson's been out for 8 weeks, and all the legal experts said there's no way he was going in front of a jury. So I don't know what they're waiting for. Like, what is Roger Goodell doing on a daily basis?
Yes, it seems like they're being extra careful and extra thoughtful to appease the, public perception that they're going to make sure they absolutely get things right this time and decide their fate. But these players, their careers and lives hang in the balance. It's already the second half of the season, and you would think by now they would know one way or the other whether these guys should be allowed to continue their NFL career for salvaging a part of the rest of this season.
Well, Florio went on to say why he thought the NFL was dragging their feet on this issue.
Hey, Dan, I think the NFL was so stung by the criticism in the wake of the initial Ray Rice suspension, even before we saw the video. The response and reaction to the 2-game suspension, where it was unanimous that that wasn't nearly enough. I think the NFL is so worried about further criticism that they're putting that above what should be fair processes. And I think they should trust the fans and us in the media to understand that these issues are bigger than what the guys did. These are questions about fairness, consistency, transparency, and what kind of rules we're going to have in place to determine when guys are suspended, when they're not suspended. And those issues are bigger than what Ray Rice did or what Adrian Peterson did.
I totally agree with Mike and his theory, but sometimes theories don't play out that way in the real world. If I'm a casual sports fan, all I hear is, what, they let that child abuser back in the NFL? Whoa, 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 wow. And they're not going to know 9 weeks, 10 weeks. They're not going to know misdemeanor. All, like my wife is going to say to me, like, wow, Adrian Peterson, the guy who whipped his kid, is back in the NFL? And, that's, I think what they're worried about is the casual fan.
See, do you think this is going to be a growing trend where the different leagues will start adjusting their discipline according to outcry on social media?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it is. And sort of like Paul just said, people only tend to read the headline and not the story, and we only really have the attention span for 150 characters or whatever it is these days. So while the right stand and the easy stand, I guess, I'm not really sure, is to be like, get this guy out of the league because he's a child abuser and he needs to be kicked out of the league. Well, all right, yeah, that's a good cause to take up, but in reality, is that the way that it should be? I don't really know.
And also the angle of video and pictures. If there's not video or pictures with Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson, I believe that both are playing football right now. Adrian Peterson, I think there's 2 pictures of his son from the court case or the doctor's office, and somehow those got leaked. If those don't get leaked and the Ray Rice elevator video never gets out there, I think both might not sit a day.
Well, another story you guys touched on was the slow start for LeBron and the Cavs. And you guys had Meta World Peace, Giant Panda, Panda Paradise, calling all the way from China and offered his take on LeBron's struggles.
I wish he would have kept the weight on. I think he spent too much time focusing on losing the weight. And I think it took away his fatigue. I sent a message to one of his friends, and I said, why is LeBron fatigued? And Carmelo, they look fatigued. They lost all this weight. And I think with the weight, they lost some muscle. And I just think they went about it the wrong ways because I don't see them moving a lot right now. They look my age.
I know exactly what he's talking about. When I was in high school, one time we drove all the way out to this high school. I think it was Penn's Landing or something. And we were lining up and doing laps. There was a guy who must have weighed 315 pounds. I'm like, this guy can't run up and down the court. Then I saw him in the starting lineup. I'm like, he's about to destroy us, especially me.
Really?
He got out there, man.
And you were running the center there.
Yeah, I was like, I was about 6'5", a solid 137 at age 16. His butt alone, I just went, he came in to post me up. I was in the stands and he got a
That
layup.
didn't confuse you, the whole losing weight and losing energy,
I think if you
most people think
dude,
you've got so much more energy because you're not carrying that extra weight around.
I understand that, but LeBron gets in the middle, man. You've gotten hit before. It weighs you down.
Break it down.
That's all that weighs you down. You get tired. You get body blows.
I still think I'm no doctor, but I still think it'd be better off if you have, I know if I had not that I'd be some speedster, but I would be, I think, less tired and have a lot more energy if I was like 20, 30 pounds lighter.
But you're more powerful as a booker at your current weight.
That's true. You got to kind of.
What would a skinny Todd be like? I think the whole show would be thrown off if you lost 30 pounds. I don't even know if we could survive that. The whole balance of the show would be way off.
I definitely spent time though in grade school, like junior high and high school, where it was clear that, especially in high school, you were boys playing against men. And you would walk into you'd be on the road and go to the other gym, and you'd walk in, and there would be 3 or 4 kids on that team that had a beard, and you were like, oh, we're gonna get killed. It doesn't even matter. We're gonna absolutely get crushed just based on the amount of facial hair that the other team could grow compared to ours. We'd be like, we got no chance. There's no way. We lost. Just back it up.
Oh my God! I remember in 7th grade we went up against this one team. They had 12 mustaches, and it was 7th grade.
You guys got blown out.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
You already got in your head. You were totally intimidated by.
Yeah, and also it was one of those schools where there were prison guards on the windows. There were bars on the window.
Facial hair and bars on the window. You're done. You don't know why even bother tipping it off at that point.
Like they would foul you, be like, "Thank you, I'll take another."
You'd apologize for them, like, "Oh, sorry, I was in your way there."
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Fritzy, were you nervous about that phone line with Meta World Peace calling in from the other side of the planet?
I was from the get-go because you're dealing with China. We've had people
Are you blaming the country?
I'm not blaming the country, but we've had phone line situations with people here in the States, not far from our studios in Connecticut, and it was breaking up, and even landlines in hotels that you think would be clearer than a cell phone line have caused us problems. So once China was involved, I definitely had some concern, and it wasn't very clear.
I think that's unfair to the country of China, and we're big in China. Our Beijing affiliate is huge. We had Andy Roddick from a tarmac and a plane in China, and his cell phone was crisp. You thought he was in the next room. So, you're blaming the country.
Yeah, you can't. You can't blame the entire country, but
most of them. We get Tony Dungy's 100 miles away on a cell phone. Can't hear what
is Tony Dungy calling from China?
You never know. But when you're dealing with overseas, there is that extra concern.
I was really worried because if it was a bad phone line and Todd and Dan had talked about the phone line again, then I was going to have to climb up to the roof and jump down to my death out of boredom of this phone line conversation.
Fritzy, how's it happen?
How do we get disconnected? Why is there a scratchy sound? How is it not perfectly clear?
Well, you see, the signal goes out in outer space, and sometimes there's a...
Well, it all depends on what side of the Great Wall you are on, what sort of reception you're getting. Mustaches are scary, that's for sure. Coming up, Paulie has the scariest mustache of them all.
It's technically a mustache. It's not really full. It's kind of in the works.
We're getting some good Uncle Rico comparisons from Napoleon Dynamite.
People asked if I have a role in Star 80 Part 2, the Eric Roberts vehicle.
Yeah. There is a porn feel to it.
I've been to Chatsworth, California before.
Yeah.
Never worked there.
Welcome back to the box score. Boy, that Star 80 reference is gold. Paulie, your mustache garnered a lot of attention today, so much so that you guys threw it up on the website for a caption the photo contest today. Did you expect that kind of response when you came in rocking the stash?
I didn't know what to expect because it's not good, which makes it great. Because if it was full, there'd be nothing really to talk about. But because it's kind of like spotty and not dark colored and not really to its full potential yet, it's ripe for the picking.
I don't know, Paul. If you came in here with Tom Selleck mustache, I'm still not sure that's the look you'd want to go for, dude. I don't know.
Tom Selleck, I would cut my wrist to look like Tom.
All-time great mustache.
No, but his mustache on Paulie. Paulie's not going to look like Tom Selleck just because
I don't know,
Tom
because
Selleck's
my
mustache.
dad had a closer to a Tom Selleck mustache, closer to that when he had one, and he was crushing it.
Yeah, what year was that?
Late 70s.
Yeah, it's not the late 70s.
Fritzy, Dr. Skinamax, let me ask you to put your casting director shoes on right now. If you were casting a movie, say like a manual in space, who would you put in the lead with their porn stash? Would it be McLovin or Paulie? Let's throw up a still here for you to just go ahead and give us your analysis.
There's a mustache?
In those particular pictures, I would lean towards McLovin there. But I am very curious to see what's going to happen in the if Paulie
Check
sticks
your
with
mic,
this in
buddy.
the coming
I guess
weeks.
it's on the shadow.
We might have a really good challenge there.
I think your mic might be out there. Fritzy, go ahead and check that. Well, let's go to this next one.
It was off. I don't know why.
How's that possible?
Did you turn it off?
I don't think so.
All right,
Maybe I
well,
hit
let's move it
something
on. Paulie's Paulie's mustache was so porn star-esque that it reminded a boss of a...
Can we leave all that in, please?
Yeah, we'll leave all that in. Paulie's stash was so porny that it reminded the boss of a story when he was hitting the links out in Southern California.
I'm ready to tee off. I'm with Rick Neuheisel. All of a sudden, I see these lights, and I hear, yeah. So I'm on the tee, and I said, what the hell is going on? And then you could see, like, a woman looked like she was topless up right above, and I go, wait, what's going on up there? And Rick informed me that might have been a movie set.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I said the same thing. So I said loudly,
yeah.
I think I'll pull out my driver.
Nice.
That's the name of the movie, I think.
I think you're right. That was a nice line by Dan. He never invites me to the fun stuff like that. You know, you probably wouldn't find me on any golf course anytime soon or back in the day. Anyway, but you know, down in the distance there's some action going on and there's some questionable adult entertainment being filmed. That would have been something I probably would have put my clubs down and went over the hill to take a peek and see what was going on in there.
The victim displayed there, though, was the chemistry among the whole staff. There was really, you know, we had the music beds going.
Okay.
Fritzy had a fun comment.
Okay, hold on. I think Seaton's mic's off. Can we just send two-a-days out to get these guys some batteries?
Oh, I got it. I'll take over. What Seaton was trying to say was that when you're telling a story about a porn situation, be careful with what you're saying.
This is horrible.
Right. Yeah.
This is horrible.
Yeah, because we have a standard of excellence here at the Dan Patrick Show. Technically, everything we do, it's top notch.
Okay.
Maybe the camera's not on.
Like on a TV show, we know that having your mic on is better than, let's say, having it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're back.
Oh, wait, sorry about that. My mic was off.
That's how it's done, Fritzy. That's how it's done.
My mic was off. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about that.
Stick around. After this, we're going to play Know Your Row. It's been a while since we played that, but all this talk of porn and mustaches, it takes me back to a time when I was cutting my pants down. Lo Mein, Fritzy, my friend, you are a genius. No.
Hey, Bobby, why don't you go grab Brock? We're going to tape early.
Got it.
Thanks.
Oh, my.
Hey, Brock.
Can I get 5 minutes?
Would you go in that direction?
What's that?
Would you go in that direction, wardrobe-wise, like a turtleneck sweater and a tweed jacket?
Nah, I don't go in that direction. I just throw on my T-shirt and shorts and I roll. and I get it started.
Welcome back to the box score. Rob Gronkowski knows fashion for sure. I mean, says all he needs is T-shirt and shorts. Paulie, is that your ideal weekend attire?
That's my ideal lifestyle. I would trade places with Gronk in a second. He's like a 12-year-old who just has a job of an adult and is paid like an adult and covered like an adult, but he's still 12. Even all that Patriot way saying we're just taking it one game at a time. As soon as we ask him about something that's away from football, he says, I get it started. I don't know what I get it started means, but Gronk knows what it means, and he does get it started.
He knows. Well, Monday we saw McLovin pull off the Tom Brady pop collar look, and you crushed it, McLovin. What was the response around your neighborhood when you got home? A lot of cat calls and whistles?
No, because that was two-a-days leather jacket, and I had to give it back. So it's amazing that jacket alone made me look super cool. But then I come home and I play the role of, middle-aged dad. And,
but you know what, though? The pose that you struck in there was such a power pose. It suggests that maybe you practiced that or something. Like, do you have any modeling experience, or do you work on that once the kids go to bed? Because, I mean, you really hit it.
See, I can walk a catwalk like no other Dan.
Men of the Ivy League, 1995?
Yeah, Tom got me inspired. A little, you want to see a little bit?
Why not?
It's going to be a little dangerous. Ladies, you might want to have your husband leave the room for this.
Do your little turn on the catwalk.
Oh, wow. That's Ivy Steel.
That's a strong look right there.
I'm doing it now, Brock.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was blue steel or a white,
that was
white paper.
Oh. White paper. Instead of blue steel. Wow.
Maybe white diamond. Give me some credit here.
Okay, white sapphire.
Pays the bills.
We all love the look there, but we wanted to know what looks the Danettes thought were fashion disasters. We asked them off in a secret interview room, and let's see if their row partners can figure it out as we play another edition of
Know Your Row!
You said I'll give you $1 million if you tell me one question you asked. I could not.
Let's start in the back row. Fritzy, what style does McLovin just hate?
By the way, that's Fritzy's concentration face you're seeing right now.
What style of clothes does McLovin hate? I'm going to say he doesn't like Zubaz pants or sweats and jerseys. He thinks, which is basically my entire wardrobe. That's something he would never roll with or be into.
Let's see if McLovin agrees with Fritzy's answer.
Least favorite style of dress? Definitely the flappers. What was up with that?
Flappers.
Yeah, 1920s, roaring 20s, Prohibition.
Dude, that was so hot.
How'd you not get
Flappers was like...
I don't know. I must have.
They had those cool little.
I must have seen The Great Gatsby the night before. I have no idea why Flappers was.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have guessed Flappers.
I'm not a fan of Zubaz either, though.
Or short.
Okay, to the front row. Paulie, can you tell us what Seton says was his least favorite style?
Oh man, because I know his style, and he actually. I don't think he likes to have to wear a tie. Guy knows how to wear a tie and likes to wear ties and shirts when it's an occasion or something like that, or you want to dress up. But I don't think he enjoys wearing like a suit and a tie, like a corporate outfit.
Okay. Does he hate suits and corporate outfits?
Well, I'm okay with hipster, but I've never really been a big fan of hippies and like tie-dyed and Birkenstock kind of thing. No offense, but.
No offense.
Yeah, no offense, hippies. I'm just not really into the whole hippie thing for some reason. Like, it's cool, I guess. You do your thing, Grateful Dead and Fish and all that, but I don't know. A little too much tie-dyed and hemp for me.
All right.
Hemp. Well, hemp,
Let's go to the patchouli oiled soaked back row. McLovin, what is Fritzy's least favorite style of dress?
Shirts you have to pay for.
That's called the steal.
That's got to be the answer.
I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to go with stylish clothes, just in general, as his least favorite style.
Wow.
That's my insult.
Does Fritzy hate stylish clothes?
I'm going to go, like trench coat, mafia, goth, anything with like dark, weird, long jackets and a lot of makeup where you're like half heavy metal person, half serial killer. That kind of spooks me out. So I'm going to go with that goth Halloween strange look where you're dyeing your hair all kinds of colors and mohawks and looking like you hate the world and want to kill everyone. Yeah, that's. I love McLovin's answer. I think it's a lot better than what I came up with. It's too late to change my answer now. But yeah, anything that has remotely to do with GQ or something that's stylish or anything from this time period of over the last decade, that's just not something I want to get into. If I could find a nice T-shirt from the 80s or 90s, if I could walk around in Ghostbusters and Miami Vice type shirts, that would be.
How is it that you stopped progressing culturally in 1989?
I did. I got stuck
you're like,
right
this
around
is good.
right around 88, 89.
You're like, I'm good.
A couple years before college graduation, and I was like, you know what? This is as far as I go. And if everybody wants to move forward with their lives, I'm going to pretty much stay
like
stay
you're
on
a
the
fan of
pause
Bauhaus,
button.
9 Inch Nails, industrial music.
That was it.
Yeah.
Can't deal with 2014.
Yeah, Fritzy in the parachute pants. Front row, last one. Seton, what did Paulie say was his least favorite style?
Well, I was going to go also, but Paulie jumped in there with shirts he has to pay for because he really only wears free shirts on the show.
Yeah.
But
Thanks,
then
Mississippi State.
I thought about the only thing I can really think of him commenting on a regular basis is sort of like hipster skinny jeans kind of thing. He's not into that at all.
All right, was it hipster wear?
Least favorite style of dress? Whatever Two-A-Days wears.
Can I go to the judges on that?
I think you got to count that one.
I'm going to give that one to you, Paulie. I'm going to give that one to you, Paulie, because, yeah, I think we have to.
Tomato, tomato. I mean,
nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
well, and with that, as usual, the front row has won Know Your Row. Congratulations, gentlemen. Don't go away. The boss was in a bit of a mood today. We'll see how the guys handle it when Dan gets frisky. Welcome back to the Box Score. Paulie, you told the boss that someone said he was in a bad mood today. You want to tell us who that was, or do you want to protect your source?
I'm a journalist, and I would never, ever tell. If that person wants to admit it on their own, I would have no problem with that, but I would never give up my sources.
Andrew, speak up.
Well, I got to tell you, I got in late today because there was a big accident in '95, and by the time I got in, it was right. Dan was in a pretty good mood, so I think I missed.
Okay, so I didn't say Dan was in a bad mood. I said Dan was in a mood.
That's fair.
And he gave several of his telltale signs that Dan is in a mood, where he, what can I say? Like, hey, guys, let's make sure these boxes are picked up, okay? Like, those boxes have been there for like 3 months and it hasn't been an issue. Today, though, it was like, guys, we got to get these moving today. And you're like, okay, but like they're like kind of there because you like to pick through them too. So, or like, maybe like copy that he's been reading for the last like 7 years. Today was the day it was poorly written or something. It's like little things like that you're like, all right, he's got his mind on something else, and he's kind of in a little bit of a mood.
He was concerned about the interview with Meta World Peace. Rightfully so that it was from China, but this was booked a number of days in advance, and nothing had been mentioned about that. And all of a sudden, right before we're getting ready to go on the air and do the show, now he's all of a sudden expressing concerns about topics of conversation or how the phone line may go from China. So I definitely saw a little of that. Not so much where I thought it was going to be an awful day, but there was a little something going on there.
Well, I think you guys are all right. I think he was in a bit of a mood, and just like in Team America, it's time for a montage.
Yeah, I hit a golf ball over there.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Maybe I was a little bit angry. Maybe if she didn't have to actually be with you, that she would have a baby.
Oh, you mean like some kind of lab thing?
Yes. Yeah. You know what? Considering what he did to me earlier, I wish it would have hit him right in the head.
Yeah.
See, he won't even flinch. This guy won't even flinch. Watch that. Sometimes, my emotions get the better of me.
What a weirdo.
That was harsh.
Like he had our cameraman standing there with a camera in his hand, and Dan's repeatedly throwing a basketball at his man region over and over again, and that fella sure stood right there, kept hitting the shot.
And this guy's badass. He's a World War II vet. He's tough as nails. If Dan keeps doing stuff like that, he could go off.
World War II. We're like the War of 1812.
My wife might be more amenable to having a third child if we didn't have to do anything romantically, and then we could kind of do something.
Well, that's a direct quote from
chemically.
her. That's
pretty harsh.
That was just logic.
He was in a little bit of a mood today. He was.
Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
Rodney Harrison from NBC Football Night in America will be on hand, and we'll also have in the New York City Man Cave Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber 2 and The Newsroom. So we're excited to see him tomorrow morning in New York City.
And the Purple
Was
Rose
in New
of
York City?
Cairo.
In New York City.
The New York City Man Cave.
The Man Cave, yes. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching the Box Score. Set your DVR. Tune in weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. Catch the podcast on iTunes, podcast1.com, technology and stuff. Cheers.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey! Thanks for watching the Box Score. Holy cow!
This was a presentation of DirecTV, exclusive home of the Red Zone channel, the Fantasy Zone, the Dan Patrick Show, 20 years of NFL Sunday Ticket, the Rich Eisen Show, and America's premier source for sports television.